Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Postman live stream. My name is Joyce. I'm a developer advocate at Postman. And Nico?
Hello, I'm Nicholas. I'm a developer advocate at Typeform.
And I am based in San Francisco. Where are you based, Nico? Uh-oh, did we lose him? Okay, so we're back. Let's try this again. Nico, are your roommates streaming Netflix? What's going on?
No, I should be here. Do you hear me well?
I do hear you, yes.
All
So I
right.
was just saying, I am based in San Francisco. And Nicholas, where are you based?
I'm also in San Francisco, in the rainy San Francisco, looks like.
Yeah, it's pretty gloomy today. So I'm excited. You are our first guest. Typically, it's just me and Arlemy is still with us. He's actually hanging out in the chat and running the stream behind the scenes because I'm on a Mac and my Mac doesn't have enough power to stream this. But I was thinking, like, oh man, Arlemy's French, and I really like talking with French people. So who else do I know that's French? And I was like, Nicholas.
Yeah, that seems to be a funny coincidence. So we may drop some French bomb like a sacre bleu or sarpelli popette, just to keep the things entertaining.
Your accent sounds different than Arlemy's. I feel like you have like a Southern United States French accent.
That's Louisiana. When Louisiana was part of France, that's what you mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Dropping some history on us. Okay. Well, before we get started, I want to, I have a couple of things that I want to show you. So why don't we go ahead and share my screen, Arlemy? Okay. So hopefully you see this web page. So we've talked about this several times during past streams, but I'm like really surprised. Nico, have you seen this? This is Postman has gathered together a ton of API resources. So you know Kin Lane, right? He's worked with
Yep.
a bunch of government organizations and just kind of gathering the APIs. So the Postman team was like, hey guys, all hands on deck, let's gather some of this information. And if you click through these links, you can actually start consuming some of these resources. And this is like an open source repository. So if you have COVID information or you know about APIs or you make an API, you can submit a pull request. We've seen a ton of excitement about this from the community. I mean, clearly everyone's trying to do what they can. So this is the first thing I wanted to show. And then the second thing I wanted to show is if you go to community.postman.com, this is where this is the community forum for Postman, where did Arlemy wrote this amazing, oh gosh, every release we have, Arlemy spends time summarizing what is new in Postman. And now that our team is growing, our engineering team is growing, there's just so much stuff dropping. And so if you want to take a browse through this, I'll drop a link in the chat to this if you want to take a look. But next week, we're actually going to walk through each and every one of these just to understand what's going on. And you don't even have to open Postman because he creates these little GIFs so you understand what's going on. So a ton of stuff in this release 7.24. But we'll take a spin through that in a little bit more detail next week. So thank you very much, Arlemy. You are spoon feeding me what is new in Postman, and I appreciate it. Okay. All right. So today we are working on webhooks. What are we doing today, Nico?
Yeah, so I think that was one of the questions that I asked you a couple of months ago. Is it possible to receive webhooks in Postman directly? Because I deal with a lot of webhooks. If you're not familiar with webhook, is basically a way for two things to communicate almost in real time. So there is an event happening somewhere on the source, and there's a destination which is going to be a URL, and you're going to receive that event. In my case, it's usually when a form gets submitted into Typeform, or when you can imagine like when someone presses a button, that will be a webhook. So I asked you that question, and you, if I remember well, you were like, oh yeah, I'm sure it's doable. And I think today we're going to explore how to do that inside Postman, and we're going to use a concrete example using a product of Typeform called VideoAsk, which is a way to make questions a bit more personalized using your video. And like this, we can get people to interact in the stream and send us video questions, and we're going to try to answer them.
Yeah, I think in one of the earlier live streams, and I don't know if you were able to participate with that one, but we worked with Slack's inbound webhook. And webhooks just is so ambiguous. And so Slack, I think, has a couple different webhook types. Postman also has a couple different webhook types. And when you asked me this question, I knew that we do have like out of the box webhooks, but they're like on the paid plan and they're integrated with existing tools. But if you just want to roll your own webhook, I think that's what we're going to do today. So I'm excited to finally get around to doing that. And if you're not familiar with Typeform, I think a lot of people are familiar with Typeform. Like, just give us a general. You've already talked about VideoAsk, but what is Typeform?
Yeah, so Typeform is an interactive tool that lets you ask questions in a personalized way, make it the flow very seamless. Basically, we're turning your web forms into something a bit more beautiful and more conversational, one question at a time, so people get to be focused on what they're answering right now, and you get to build some complex logic to get better answers. So the company has been around for a couple of years. We're based in Barcelona, in Spain, and we have a small office here in San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked with Typeform before. I've used their products, and there's a lot of tools to poll and to survey, but I think your wheelhouse is just beautiful user experience, beautiful, just kind of seamless, like ask. And so now the video ask, it sounds like it's just the same thing as like your core product, except now you get to have your face there. Can we take a look?
Yes. So I will share my screen.
Ooh, Adrian's on. You know Adrian, right, Nico?
Hey, Adrian. That's cool. I love that. So let me show you. If you can see my screen, I will show you an example of a video as that I made with my silly face. And the idea is like similar to a Typeform, similar to the way we do things. We want this to be personalized. We want you to look great, and we want you to talk directly with your customers. But this time, we even make the design even easier, because instead of spending some time finding the right colors and everything, we just put your face. And what a better way to present your brand than your own face. And so in this case,
are you a burner? It's like you're at a rave.
That may happen. Yeah, so I had some fun with the hue lights when I have some time, and I like to wear costumes, which is also a very San Francisco thing. And we missed in May. We're gonna miss Betu Breakers, which is a big costume party in San Francisco. Yeah. But basically, I was making this. I was making a way for people to send me some ideas for our meetup, and it's just a video I recorded myself. I was like, hey, we're organizing a meetup. Do you want to participate? And people had the options to select if they want to give a talk or suggest a topic. And when they click on this, we're going to collect their name. And I'm going to put my name. And then they get to a second question where they're going to record a video themselves and tell me what's the talk about and what they want to present at the meetup. And that gets directly into your browser, where that was going to fire the camera, and you can see myself twice here talking to myself. But I can record this and it's like, oh, I want to talk about this awesome topic. I have a great idea for the meetup. And if I'm happy with my pitch, I will click yes, and that gets sent to the owner of the forum. In that case, it's me. But this is a very personal way to interact with your customers or your community. Put a face on it, and then you can reuse the video. So when I get into my app here, I should have a new person that interacted with me, and I see my video here. And so now I can have a better sense of what the pitch is about, how's the person reacting, what is their flow of talking, and if I'm really engaging with them. So we saw a lot of people using it for job applications, for pitching at an incubator, accelerator, startups, all the stuff. So it's a fun new product that we're working on.
Cool. So it looks like you had 6 people respond to that question that you recorded.
Yeah,
Um,
that was a small project. Yep.
so it's kind of like your idea of soliciting topics for a meetup. But what I'd like to do is a lot of times Arlemy and me, I don't know if that's grammar, like proper grammar, but me and Arlemy are asking people, hey guys in the chat room, what do you guys want us to work on next week? Or like if you have cool ideas for projects, let us know. And then I literally hear the sound of crickets chirping. So I wonder if we can create a video ask questionnaire or like whatever and send it out to people and ask them for their ideas and maybe they'll be a little bit more forthcoming but like I'm kind of shy. I don't want to like be like record my face and take a selfie and be like here's my idea. um they can submit like in text, right?
Yeah, yeah. So let's do this. I mean, if you're shy, you know you're on live stream right now, right? So let's do that. The first thing is to, for you as the owner of the forum, the video ask, is to record yourself a video to just present what's the topic, and I will do that for you for this time. So I'm gonna just record myself here, and I'm gonna look in the camera, and I'll be like, "Hey, we need you to suggest ideas for our next live stream. So tell us what you want to talk about. What do you want to hear from us?"
Pew pew.
So so let's say I think that looks like a nice video. I think we should be happy with it.
Okay.
And if we want, we can add some overlay text. What do you want us to stream about? Right?
Yep.
Perfect. And then we gave the option of how people should answer to that question. And so some people can book meetings directly. We have an integration with Calendly, so that makes it a beautiful way to engage with people
i
that
don't
book
I
meeting
don't
with.
want to meet with anyone.
You don't want to meet with anyone.
No.
We have a way to have like closed answers. So like choose your favorite color, where are you based, these type of things. And then we have the open answers, where we let people answer either by video, recording an audio, or text. And I think it's great to leave all the options open. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
And so continue, and I'm gonna name this Postman stream suggestion here. And to make sure we can engage with the people when they're done, we can collect their details as well. So we're gonna ask for their name.
Do they need a Typeform account or a VideoAsk account to answer this?
No, not at all. They just get on the link and fill their information and send their details without the need of creating an account. Works both on the desktop and on mobile.
Okay, cool.
So we collect the name and the email. You can select the language. It doesn't really matter which language people are using to answer the video ask. It's just better if you know the language beforehand, so we can use the transcription. We're using a library to transcribe the audio. And so if you want to do search on it, it's better to have that, but we'll leave it to English for now. And we're just going to create that. So it's going to upload my video, create all the things together. And at the end of this, I'm going to get a link that I can share with my community, with our community, and then people can start engaging with it.
Okay, so we could send this link to people in the, I mean, don't do it yet. We need to do some development, but we could put it in the chat room and then they can reply to it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And if you want, you can embed that into your website. You can showcase it in wherever you share, and then we'll see how to connect it with other things.
Yeah, I'd like to like maybe at the end of this, once we build something, I would like to ask people that are here with us watching kind of to see what their ideas are, but maybe like every week or something, Arlemy and I will send this out and then just see like if more people are like anything but COVID, we're so tired of like that as a topic or like whatever, just to kind of gauge the pulse of the community.
Yeah, this is great. Or if you want to have a Q&A session, but more like, like they do on TV, they bring like, oh, we have this participant coming from somewhere, Oklahoma. Tell us what's going on for you. What's the question you have for the guest? And this is how you bring them live easily.
Oh my gosh, I was looking at your screen share and I was looking at your face moving, thinking that was you, but that's not you. I should look over here. Okay. Um, yeah. Okay. So, other things like, I assume you have an API. I assume that's why you're here.
Yeah, and better than that, we have, so it's on developers.videoask.com, and it's an API documented with the Postman documenter. So it looks like this. And the API lets you do different things. You can gather the forms that you have on your account, so modify them, list them, but also get the responses. And I think this is where it gets really interesting, how to get the responses and do some things around this. And this is great when we just want to do that after we collect a bunch of responses. And if you want to do stuff in real time, this is where we get the webhooks as well. And we have an API for this. So if you want to create webhook via API, this is also possible.
Yeah, actually, I've taken a look at this documentation because it's in the Postman API network, and it's really well documented. Bravo, Nico. I think I slapped a featured tag on it. Do you have the Postman open?
Yes.
Maybe we can show people where they can get it.
Yeah. So
if you
will
go
need
to
to guide me. I'm a bit of a messy
look at
user.
how messy this is. Go to the top left new button, the orange new button, and click on the plus.
Yep.
Yeah, click on the plus part.
Aha. Yes.
Yeah, and then tab over to API network, and then type in like video.
Woohoo!
There it is. Yeah, I slapped a featured on it because it's really well documented. I think you've done a good job with it. So if people in the oh, we could probably drop a link. I feel like I keep saying I'll drop a link in the chat, but then I don't. But there, we can send a link out for the VideoAsk documentation.
All right. So should I click run in Postman?
No. Well, do you already have it in Postman?
I think I have it. Yes, but I need to switch workspaces.
Okay.
Probably. Let's
yeah, actually, close that. So tab over on the left sidebar before you do that. Tab over to. Do you mind if we look at your?
Yeah.
Wow, that's like a big junk drawer. That's like what my house looks like behind these nice plants here. So have you used one of the workspaces before?
I will lie if I say I didn't, but I'm not good at organizing things. So for me, the default is really my workspace, and I do everything in it. Yeah. So I need some guidance for sure.
Yeah, let's just create a new blank works. I mean, oh my gosh, look at those tabs with the orange dirty tabs. That's like giving me anxiety here. Yeah, let's start with a fresh workspace. How about, and then just put all of our work in there. So you can either do a personal or a team.
Yes. So we're gonna get that Postman Twitch stream. All right. She's just me. Yep. Boom.
And then if you're going to use the VideoAsk, are you going to use the VideoAsk API?
Yep. So okay. I guess I go back to the collection here, and I will add it. Running Postman. It looks so much cleaner when you start fresh. I love it.
Now you're going to have a junk drawer of workspaces, I bet.
All right. So now I have my collection in this new workspace.
Yeah. So what do you need to get this API working? How do you auth it?
So we're going to need an API key. I think this is explained somewhere here. Yes. So you go to your account API section. So let's do that right now. I'm going to go in my account, and I'm going to click the API.
Wait, are you going to reveal secrets?
It's a long secret, so you're going to miss part of it. So I don't think you're going to see anything. See, we don't show you everything. You just copy it. So I think it's fine. But it's just there on your account. You have a temporary API key because we're still working on the API key, but this is enough for you to hack around and see if that's really what you need. If you want a long-term API key, and come talk to the team. We have a way to have your own OAuth mechanism. So we're going to copy that key, right? Then where should I put it?
In Postman?
Yeah, in Postman. Okay.
Brain Dead Air says, make a note never to show Joyce my Postman. Now, I'm not that critical of everyone, but did you see Nico's sidebar? It was like blah, 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 blah. Okay.
It's fresh now. It's all new. It's good.
So where do you
It's
need
clean.
the key?
Sorry. So let me go and check here. For example, I'm
Can
gonna
you
need
zoom
the
in a
key.
scotch?
Yeah, let's do that. Sorry. Better?
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks better. So we have a key that we call token for the environment variables. So we need to store that in the environment variables, right?
Okay. Yep.
So I'm going to create a new environment, right? And that's going to be Nico's account, right? And we're going to call it token. And maybe this is where you're going to see all my key if I paste it, right? So
Wait, do you need a secret shield?
yeah, let's call secret shield.
Okay, secret shield activate. Okay, it's
Perfect.
on. Game
All right,
on.
so I pasted this, and now I click add. So secret shield off.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, so I click add, and now when I go back here,
you need to select it from that drop down at the top.
Haha, you see, perfect. Yeah, this is why it was red.
Make sure, don't hover over that orange token, otherwise it'll show again.
No, I will stay out of it. But now that it's set, it's orange, so it means I have everything I need, and I can make my first API call, right?
Okay, let's see.
If we look at the base URL, it's api.videoask.com. There's no reason for you to change that, but I have a dev environment as well.
Oh, you made a collection variable? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. We'll do that for you. You don't need to change this. All right, so we're going to retrieve all the forms I have on my account, and hopefully we see the form that we just created. So click send. Boom, boom, boom.
Ooh, okay. All right.
So now we have an array with all the different forms. And if we look at the last one has a title Postman Stream Suggestions, like the one we created. And if we look at the details of what you can have about a form, we know if we require to get some contact details. So this is where we say we need an email or a name. We put the colors and the language as well. So that could be useful if you want to do some nice visualization around the colors.
Yeah, I wanted Postman Orange.
I'll go change that. If you give me,
I don't actually know our hex code for orange.
Yeah, that's what I need. But yeah, and the other thing that's interesting that I haven't shared with you yet was the share URL. So we see it here. This is what we're going to share with people when they want to interact with it. And we know the number of respondents and the first question. So this is great to show you what is the first question in the form and visualize it and have it when you have a list. So we see both.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do?
So let's go ahead and add a response, a sample response, and Arlemy has helpfully given me the Postman Orange hex code if we want to customize the color of that. And anybody in the chat room is going to be like snagging that share URL and just spamming some responses in there, I bet. But let's go customize it.
Yes. So, right, I'm going back to the thing, and we're going to customize this.
Is it okay for people to start responding?
Yeah, that would be great. So we can visualize then the responses, and then we'll ask again for suggestions when we need to do the webhook part, the real-time part.
Okay.
So I get the value from Arlemy on the X here. All right, so what should be the colors? The main color should be this, the orange, right?
Yeah.
And the other color should be what? White? What is it going to be? Where's the other color going? Oh, actually, that looks good. I don't know where the green is used.
Can you make purple instead of green?
Purple, something like this.
Oh gosh, our designers are rolling over, but that's perfect. Yes, I like it.
Yeah, as always, treat your designers well, but like, yeah. Did it say? Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
Quantum saying email required. Is it required or is it optional? Can we make it optional at all?
I can turn it off. For now, it's required, but I guess if you don't want to give your real email,
I
anything
wanted
that,
I
that
wanted to I wanted to collect email because I wanted to do a giveaway at the end, but is it possible for people to optionally put in their email?
not right now. This is a great thing, but anything that looks like an email will work. So if you don't want to give your real email, any fake email will be fine.
Okay. Cool. All right. So we have this question out there. Oh no. Do we want to click on this? This is risky. Risky click.
So the good thing is for now, this is only a text, and we see it's someone that had answered with a text. So there's no issue with it. We're not going to see anything embarrassing.
Okay.
Okay,
well,
see,
somebody in the chat should submit a video one. Although everyone's working from home, no one's stressed. We'll see. We'll see.
It's fine. You can take pictures of your plants and make your plants talking. It's fine. I do that all the time. But so we can already retrieve those things.
Let's take a look at the responses.
Yes. So the responses here, if we go, so let's do this. Let's copy this form ID. I'm going to keep it somewhere. I can keep it in my environment. And this form ID. Boom. And so if I go to get a specific form, let's see if I get the responses here. This is not where I get the responses. This is just like a way to get more information specifically about one form.
Okay.
And obviously the responses are in the response API folder. So let's see what they ask for. So the base URL is already set up. The thing that we're missing is the question ID. So you need to get the answers by question. So this is exactly what I was missing here. I need to go back to the specific details of my form and ask for and find the question ID that is here. Over here. So I can see what people are asking and answering here. So I'm going back to the question, get the questions answers, and I will set up that environment variable. And say question ID.
Okay, so you're just walking through the different API requests needed for those identifiers and then plugging it into the next one, okay?
Exactly. So now I see that I have the question ID that I was missing, and now I should get all the answers for this specific question.
Okay.
All right. So I click send. Boom. And I see array with all the different answers of everyone. Thanks everyone for participating. And
okay, so JW Banning said that they sent a video response. Can you find, I mean, it won't have his Twitch name, but can you find JW Banning? French stuff.
We'll see. So let's see. Is there a video here?
I thought I saw one in the API response.
All right. So media type, text.
Right there, banning.
Video here. Yes, we have it. So if let's see the difference here. So if you're on text, it gives us two things. Give us the media type and the type that is text, and transcription, which is exactly input text, which is whatever you put inside, and what people have written. And if you look at a video type, I'll try to make that a bit bigger. We'll get media type video, and we'll get a media URL, which is the video that was just sent. And so if we open that URL, we can see that video. Should we do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So I'm going to copy paste that. You might not have the sound of it. I might be the only one listening to it.
Oh. Oh. Is that a cat or a dog?
It's a cat.
Is that a cat? Okay.
It's a suggestion. I can see this transcription. Aha! You see the
Oh
transcription
yeah,
worked.
that's so
It's
fast.
exactly what, it's exactly what I just heard. So for the next web stream, I want to talk about how to wake my cat up.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so that's
I want to
a good
do an
suggestion.
IoT notification where we submit an API request that wakes up um, Banning's cat.
I guess we can do that almost in real time. Yeah.
So I was playing
Uh,
around with the VideoAsk API. That's pretty sweet. And I was because a lot of the live streams that we've done in the past have used the Postman visualizer, and I'm not that hip with like video as a media type. So I found a way to play this video in Postman. So you copied that media URL and went over to your browser, but I found
yeah.
a way. I think I was using Video.js or something to play it in the bottom response part of the so that could be another idea um, for a live stream. But today we're doing webhooks.
Yeah, that would be way more fun because I have to go back and forth and do all the clicking. I guess that will be here, right? Something in the visualize thing, right?
Oh, notification, you say? Yeah. So just what are we working on now? We're working with the VideoAsk API. We just created a new form in the UI for VideoAsk. And now we're using the API to retrieve the responses. And we just looked at a video response here. And I think I would like to receive some sort of notification. Yes, thank you, Adrian. I would like to receive some sort of notification, maybe like when I get a new response or like all the responses. I want to know when people are responding to my video ask.
Yes. Yes. So the good thing about this is that we thought about this use case by giving you webhooks and different ways to integrate. So if people are not really into coding and they want to go take a shortcut, we also have integration with Zapier. But for everyone that wants to have more control over the notifications and want to hack their own things, we have Webhook. Again, as I said in the introduction, if you're not familiar with Webhook, Webhook is a simple way to be notified about an event that happened somewhere. In our case, this event is someone has submitted a new response to my video ask. I will send you, we'll send you a payload, JSON payload with all the information regarding that response in the URL of your choice, and it's you to decide what you do with it. The question now is that if I want to do that, I don't know what URL to send it to because I will be here and I'll be like, send it to my Postman app so I can look at it.
Yeah, so like in the past, we worked with the Slack inbound webhook, and you could theoretically send that entire payload to your Slack and then get the whole. Maybe you want to just look at the raw JSON, but in Postman or like with any kind of web app that you're running, you can actually transform the data, sort it how you want, or format it how you want, and then pass it along. So what we could do today is take the video ask webhook to send a payload to Postman to do some stuff that we specify, and then go on to potentially like a notification or something.
Yeah, because in the case if we do something with Slack, I could put here the URL directly of the incoming hook, but as you said, it's not going to be understood by Slack because the way we formatted the JSON and the way they want the message to be formatted is not the same. So we definitely need something in the middle to do the modification and the translation of it.
This is like the human centipede of webhooks, and I wonder if there's a better way to do this. But I know Postman, you know VideoAsk, and I think everyone knows how to operate a Slack webhook. So unless people in the chat say differently, this is what we're going to do.
Great. So what should we do first?
So several months ago, you did ask me this question, and I got really excited, but I feel bad that we never figured it out until more recently. But you said, does Postman have a webhook? So do you want to go ahead and open up the documentation and see what? I keep looking at your face on that screen. Thank you. Let's just go. If you go to learning.postman.com.
And docs, right?
And then, docs.
I'll just get here. Explore the docs. Yes.
Yeah. And then at the search at the top, just type in like webhooks. Okay, so wait, before you click through, the custom webhooks, those are the ones that are third-party integrations, right? So those are the ones that are like out of the box. If you have like PagerDuty or like whatever, it's out of the box, but we want to roll our own. So go ahead and click that second one.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Coming soon. Okay. We're playing with some stuff that are not there yet.
Yeah, so huge like apology at the top right there. Okay, so what are we reading through? It looks like you can access the request body, the payload, with a globals.previousrequest object. And actually, like, just to save everyone a lot of time, the documentation here is not thorough. And in fact, if we have time, I'd like to create an issue for this, because there's no way in heck you're ever going to figure out how to. Oh my God, I just spit on myself. There's no way you can figure out how to operate a webhook using this documentation page. So I work at Postman, so I do have a super secret, tiny hidden documentation that we can take a look at. Can we go back to Postman, Nico?
Yep.
And then import a new. So go to the orange new button. Oh, sorry, not that one. Yeah, orange new button. And instead of API Network, tab over to templates.
Yes.
And search for librarian. This is how hard it would have been for you to figure out. Actually, the documentation might have had this on the sidebar. Yeah, go ahead and pull that in and let's take a look at that.
I'm lucky to have you here. Okay, running Postman. I have another folder. That's starting to be crumpy. I have a lot of things now. I have more than one folder. Careful.
Oh, no. Okay, so let's take a look at librarian. You can either view the documentation in the web or in the Postman. So just go ahead and click the flyout.
Yes.
And then
right?
Actually just view in the web.
Web.
Yeah, let's keep it open in a tab so we can refer back to it.
It's loading. So what was this project about? What is librarian?
I did not build this one, but somebody wanted to build a Slack / command to check what books are available in the Postman office and to check them out. So it's a Slack / command using Airtable as the database. But go ahead and scroll down. It's kind of interesting if you want to build a Slack / am I saying that right? Slack / command. Okay, wait, hold up, slow down. Okay, yeah. Go down to the next one where it says create a Postman monitor. Okay, this is the documentation you would have needed to find to make this work. Otherwise, you would never be able to get it to work on your own. Okay, so there's currently 2 ways to run a Postman monitor on demand. So a monitor in Postman is typically a scheduled run of that collection of all the requests in this collection. So you can either manually run a monitor from the web dashboard by pushing the button, or you can use the Postman API. So the Postman API, do you want to, actually, we've talked about the Postman API before, but these methods don't allow you to send a payload. This one, the on-demand Postman monitor, functions like a webhook, will receive a payload. Okay, so that's what we want, blah, 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 blah. Do you have a Postman API key? Because we're going to be using the Postman API.
Yes, so I guess if I click on this link, I'll get, no, where is it? Yeah, generate integration dashboard. I'll get to my profile and I'll see my API key, right? Should I go?
We might need the secret shield soon, but yeah, let's go there.
Let's check. See, redirect me. I'm ready to switch tabs. Oh, no, it's cool. Woohoo. I guess I go on my profile, right? Profile.
Yes.
Account settings. Okay. And so this is where we're going to find the API key, right?
So you need a secret shield?
Do we do that now? Do we need to make I don't know if we need it now. Okay. Don't we need to create a monitor? We need to create a monitor first and all those things?
Okay, we could do that. So let's go back to the library documentation.
Yeah.
I was just going in order, but let's just skip ahead.
Oh, okay. If you want me, I can. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna store it in my environment variables. Is that the best place to store it?
Yeah,
Or
probably. And then do you need your, yeah, secret shield. Andy Piper says secret shield. Andy
secret
Piper has
shield.
seen us reveal too many secrets on this stream. It's on, it's on.
Woohoo! All right. But you see, that's a good thing. It doesn't show it. It doesn't show the whole thing, I guess. For security reason, your API key has been masked. So I'm gonna make. I can
Are you
regenerate.
regenerating? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Copy to clipboard.
Okay.
I'm out of this, and
Secret
so now I'm
shield stay in place.
Yeah, where I'm going to Postman, right?
Yeah, Postman, and just drop that in as an environment variable like you did before.
Okay. And that's going to be Postman
underscore API underscore. Yep.
Wrong environment.
Okay.
Underscore
API key. Yep.
Okay. Secret shield. You're good. Thank you. And just to show you, no, I'm not going to show you. No, it's not there.
Okay. No one saw anything. No one saw anything. We do have a question about, is there a way to merge Postman collections? Sometimes it gets junky and makes the sidebar useless. So yes, actually earlier we only have 2 collections in the sidebar, believe it or not. There's just a number of requests that are open and displayed, but otherwise we are starting slowly but surely to clean up Nico's workspace. Yeah, so we just created a separate workspace to organize some of these collections. Okay, so you have your Postman API key. You want to go back to librarian?
Yes. Okay. Should I go in the documentation?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's probably the best place.
Yeah. Here. So generate the API key. Boom.
Okay. La-boom. And then retrieve all your collections. Okay, so the best way to get all the Postman API endpoints is to go to import the Postman API collection.
Okay.
You remember how to do that?
This is where I go to the push. So I open that link Postman API, right? And there's a run Postman button. So I guess I can just click on it, right?
Yeah.
I guess I could have done that through the API network as well.
Oh man, I'm so hungry.
So I have a third folder with a bunch more requests. This is great.
48 requests.
Now, if I had a clean workspace, and now. So what are we looking at? We're looking to call which specific endpoints?
So we'll need to get the collection ID, but what are we going to run? What logic do we want to run?
So we want to run something that's going to call the Slack API to post a notification. And so my understanding is that this is going to be a request somewhere on a Postman thing. So that could be a request on a Postman collection, right? Is that it? And then we want to run that outside. So the monitor thing will run if we do that like it is today. The monitor will run on a cycle, so we can call it like every day, every hour, every specific day, right? So yeah.
So let's create a new collection.
Let's create a new collection. Let's do that. New collection, and then we're gonna call that Slack notification.
Human centipede of webhooks.
All right, let's do that.
No.
That's a very awful episode of South Park, but as well. Video ask to Slack. Okay. Cool. So in that collection, I probably need a request first, and this is, I think, where I'm going to drop the incoming webhook from Slack. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so let's do that. That's something I missed here. I will go on api.slack, and I'm going to create this. So the good thing, if you're not familiar with API, give you this thing called an incoming webhook. So you don't have to go through the whole process of creating an OAuth app, getting this app authorized into your workspace. Instead, they give you directly a URL, and I have one here. So I created a new app. Should I create a whole app from the beginning? Yeah, but they give you a whole app, and they give you different ways to integrate with Slack. And if your app wants to be distributed, there are like a lot of things with OAuth. But if an app just for ourselves, we just need an incoming webhook. So we'll go incoming webhook over here, and we're going to delete this one. So start from scratch. And we're going to add this new webhook to your workspace. I'm going to select one of my mini Slack workspaces. This is mine. And we are crazy. We're going to post this directly in general, but because it's my own Slack, I don't care.
Can you zoom in just a scotch? Just like a little bit. My eyesight's terrible.
Yes, sorry.
Thank you.
So as a result, that's too much.
No, it's perfect.
So as a result, Slack gave us a URL that we can hit. And they give you an example here where you just pass a JSON and that sends a request. So let's copy that URL here, the URL that we have here, and see if it works. So I'm creating a new request.
Wait, should we have turned Secret Shield on? No, whatever. We'll roll it after.
I mean, if you want to send some stuff in my Slack, so Slack notification. If I know how to write notification, okay. This is going to be posts.
Yep.
That's going to be the URL, okay. And now, if we look at the example they have given us, we just need to pass a JSON that contains a text object, right? Okay. So we're going to do that. So here, row, JSON. Can you tell me if I go to? Yeah.
Do you know who Lee Francis is?
No, but I guess I should. I should know about this person. That would be an interesting Google search that I'll do later. So, hello world, to be really original, right?
Hello world. Yep.
Tac. So now I just have to run this, and I should see the notification in my Slack. All right, so I have my Slack open here, and I see a meaning that there's a new message.
Okay.
Ta-da! Hello world. Perfect.
Is duck duck duck?
Right time.
Is duck duck duck? Is that French or Spanish?
It's my own thing of.
Got it. Okay.
Got it. It's like doing, yeah. It's something I should probably stop using.
Hey there, Turk. So just to quickly recap for anyone that just joined, we are working with the VideoAsk API to send a webhook. We're going to try to capture it with a Postman webhook and then chain it to a Slack inbound webhook. And because Andy Piper is true, we will just call it webhookception. Webhook on webhook on webhook. Okay, so now we have the Slack notification set up and it works.
Yes. So it works when I click on the button manually. So this is great, but I want to automate this so it does it on its own. And whenever there is an incoming request, waiting from VideoAsk. So what I should do next for that?
So we looked at the librarian template documentation, and it told us that we need an API key, we need a collection ID, some other stuff. Let's go ahead and look at that.
There was something about a Postman. Where am I? Am I editing this? I don't want to edit this.
Or just click outside of that editing box. And don't click it. Yeah, I know. I do that all the time. No, click out of the box.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
don't click it now.
Great,
don't click it. Just point at it.
I don't feel it contributing yet. I haven't found any flaws in it, so I don't feel like contributing. Okay, so what it says.
So you got an API key already, and you saved it as an environment variable. Now we need to retrieve all of our collections to find the UID of the VideoAsk collection that you just made.
Perfect. So we are going back inside the Postman API collection, looking at all the collection and making the request. Okay, cool. And you see all my collections. And this is where you see all the messy stuff that I've had. But interesting. The one that I just created is not on top.
Is it called VideoAsk to Slack?
Yes.
So
and the one on top is
use the magnifying glass. It's not ordered, but I don't believe. But go ahead and use the magnifying glass and search for that.
VideoAsk to. Aha! Yes. Okay, that's cool.
So you'll need the UID.
Okay.
Yep.
Should I store that somewhere?
Sure.
All right, so I go to my thing here. And that's going to be collection ID. UID.
UID. Yep. Okay.
Perfect.
And you're using an environment. Are you using an environment for that VideoAsk to Slack collection? I forget.
I don't think so. I don't think we need any for now.
Okay.
Because the Slack URL already gives you in which workspace and in which channel is going to, so we don't need to specify this.
Okay, let's go back to the librarian documentation then.
Yes.
Okay, so you got the collection UID. You don't need the environment UID. Okay, this last bullet here is like the one little bit of documentation you'll find anywhere in the world to do this type of webhook. So we're going to create a Postman webhook with the post request to that endpoint.
Yeah. I will do that. So it's not in the collection, so I can just make.
It's a super secret endpoint.
I'll make a new request. Post. Okay. What does it take? XAPI key as a header. Header here. Mm-hmm. And this is where I get.
Whoa. Okay.
That's scary. I didn't know it was going to do that. Okay. Cool. Next, now we need to send the body. So now this is the thing to be authenticated on the Postman API, and now we need to find out which type of body we're going to send that to create the new webhook. So we're clicking row, we're sending to JSON, and add the example body below. All right, so we're going to replicate what it's in the screenshot. Seems to be a webhook object. And this webhook object has a collection and environment. So I think we're just going to need a name. And so that's going to be what? VideoAsk webhook for now?
Yeah, and Hot Greeley's asking what happens if the webhook call fails. I'm pretty sure we're going to find out real soon. Unless we get it right.
There's no way it's going to fail. It's going to work on the first time. So it's for sure failing. Collection is the next thing we need. And then, this is not where I have a question. Can I use an environment variable here?
You can, yeah. Wait, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so you want to plug in the collection UID, right?
Yeah. How would I do that?
Yeah, with curly braces.
Just curly braces. Okay.
Yeah, you might need quotes just for it to be proper to JSON. I always forget this, but I think you need quotes around that. But I think you actually called it collection underscore, right?
Yeah, collection underscore UID. Collection underscore UID, and I put that in quotes, you said.
Yeah, and you need one more. Okay. Oh, there you go. Yep. I think we'll find out.
And there is another thing about environment, but we don't have to store anything in the environment, so I don't think we need that, right?
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
All right, let's run this. That request.
Oh, no. Okay, let's see. entity. Oh, okay. So I ran into this. I'm not sure if it's because you're in a different workspace. Well, that's what it says. It literally says that. I only have one clue. I don't actually know how to solve this, but let me.
So this is interesting because actually the collection that I have, it's here in the workspace that I am.
Yes. Let's try this. This is the only help. Otherwise, we're gonna have to do exactly this in my workspace, in your workspace called My Workspace. So in your, add a header to this request here, this /webhooks request, add a header. That's x-workspace-id.
Workspace. Okay.
And then, well, I guess we need the workspace ID. So go to the Postman API.
Workspaces, all workspaces. Postman to stream. Okay, this one. Okay. So now I go back here, workspace ID, like this, right?
Well, let's try it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So something else to add to the documentation, helpful.
Okay, so what I have as a result, I have an ID, I have a name of a thing, and I have a collection. It's great, but I think the interesting bit is in the webhook URL. And that, what is this URL? So that's something I can just hit, and this is where I send my payload.
Yes. So this is what you will enter into the VideoAsk Webhook target. And if we just look at the URL, it's Newman. So this is an undocumented. The /webhooks one, the one that's in this post request, is undocumented. Which is why it's so hard to get the thing working. But this webhook URL, you can see we're using Newman, which is our open source command line runner, to run this. So this is like the on-demand aspect, using Newman to run this collection that you created on VideoAsk to Slack collection.
Okay, and so it's gonna call that collection here and execute the request that I have in the collection. For now, there's only just one request, but if I had more than one request, it will just like link them.
Yep, and it's actually a hard-coded Slack notification. So once we get the webhook working, we'll need to take the VideoAsk payload and then transform it to put it into Slack.
Okay, cool. So should I add, I guess I can just already add this URL to the webhook notification on the VideoAsk part, right?
Yes. So just to recap what we're doing, like, because this is trippy. This is really trippy. But VideoAsk has the ability to set a webhook and send a payload somewhere, right? But where are we going to send it? We could send it directly to Slack, except for the fact that Slack, you need to format it a certain way just because Slack will output it in a certain way based on their business rules. So all we're doing is putting a man in the middle. That's not the right term. I should not have said man in the middle. We're putting Postman in the middle and creating a webhook. And we haven't written out the logic of what we want to do yet, but we're going to format the payload from VideoAsk using Postman Webhook and then pass it on to Slack Webhook.
Yeah, so to make that also to show you here in the documentation, we have an example of what is a payload that we sent from VideoAsk. So it contains a bunch of different things about the answer that we just submitted, but it's not formatted as we saw from Slack. So Slack, there's a basic thing we say send text to send a text to send just a simple text. And as you see, this is exactly not formatted that way. So this is why we need that Postman in the middle. Because if you send that to Slack, they're not going to understand. Right?
Do it.
So I'm going to add. I love cheese. So I'm going to add this Newman URL as a target URL of our webhook in our VideoAsk. We send two types of events. One is for form response. So at the moment someone answers, and transcribe, if I can pronounce that right. The form response transcribe is usually something that happens a bit later when the transcription comes from the video. So depending on the length of your video, it takes a bit more time to transcribe it. But for now, we're only interested by the response. So let's save that. Okay. So should we just try, if I submit new things, should I just try and see at least if it sends a notification on Slack?
Yeah.
And so we're going to do that. We're going to open. Oh, wow. Thank you for all your responses.
Oh.
You're awesome people. We're going to open that video ask. And I'm going to send, sorry. I'm going to send a video answering that thing. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Okay. I'm happy with this. Oh, I need my name. Sorry. I need my name. And my email. Okay. Send you answer. And oh, it's orange. I love that orange. And if that worked well, I should have a notification on Slack, which I don't see yet. Okay. So nothing happened. How do I debug this? Where do I see what went wrong?
So do you have a way to manually trigger the webhook, or is it currently listening for a new response? Sorry, you went, that was fast.
No. So yeah, the only way to trigger that webhook from the VideoAsk side is to trigger a new response on the VideoAsk. But we can make that faster just using text instead of a video. But yeah, so nothing happened. So the question is that on my thing here on the notification that doesn't work? Is it on when we call the URL to run that collection? I'm not sure.
Okay, so let's try to debug this. And because I think in the scanned documentation, this monitor on demand, this webhook is actually a monitor on demand. Let's go to the monitoring console to see if we have a monitor in. So we're in the Postman.
Okay, yeah, that's my profile on Postman. Monitors.
So yes. Which is the one? This one?
Which is the one? You were
yeah.
Which one that I created?
What was the name of
VideoAsk.
Webhook.
VideoAsk Webhook. The last one. This one.
So you're clicking through to the monitor, and then the monitor run. Go ahead and click the last run. The one that was at 12:03. Is that the one? Okay, now go to the log, the console. So it ran, and it posted.
Ah.
Was that the one that we just saw? Oh.
Yes. And I think we know why. It's it takes a bit of time to run a monitor that hasn't been started in a long time, and as it was the first run, it needs to warm up.
Okay, so we'll have an opportunity to look at that console again because I'm sure we'll need it for debugging. But all you're doing is triggering the Slack webhook to run with a hard-coded body of hello world. But what we want to do now is to write some code to pull out stuff that we want to pipe through to Slack.
Exactly. So we want to extract the information that we get here. That's an example of a payload from VideoAsk, and get it into the Slack stuff.
Yes.
So how should we do that?
Do you know how?
So is that time to call what we had here, the previous request stuff?
Yes. Now we can use the documentation for webhooks.
All right. So I'm just going to do like every other developer. I'm going to copy and paste that.
Yes.
And so we're going to do that on pre-request because we want to do the modification before the request gets sent, right?
Exactly.
Okay. And so I should have on this variable, on the webhook request data, I should have the payload from VideoAsk. Is that right?
Yeah, so right now, you would send the entire payload as is. If you want to parse that payload, which I think we do, we'll do that right here on probably like right there on row 3. And then you need to save it as something so that you can send it in the body.
Yes. So we are interested. Let's see what we can be interested in. So here we might be interested by the part that says contact, answers, and there is the media URL, right?
Yes.
So I want to contact, answers, and I want to get, it looks like it's an array. So I want probably the first thing. I guess this is coming when you have more than one question per video ask. In our case, we only have one question. So I'm going to take the first one, and we want the media URL. Okay. So that's going to be on webhook request data. And where do we store that? Should we store that in an environment variable? Should we store that?
It doesn't really matter, but you're not using environment variables in the webhook, so I'm not sure if you can just set it as a local variable.
Okay.
So
I'll just call it media URL like this.
Yeah, but you'll need, I'm sorry, not a local variable like that, but a Postman local variable. So do pm.variables.set.
That was this thing, variables.set. Okay.
I think that's a syntax. We could look at the documentation, but let's just try it.
We'll call that media URL, and we use that thing, right?
I think we might need to stringify it the way the console.log is on row 9. Do we? Oh wait, no. Is it actually? Yeah, it's still an object that you're passing through, right?
Yeah. But it will be a string. It will give us a string of.
A string.
It will give us this.
Okay.
It will give us this URL. So now we can reuse this variable into our body. Right?
Yes.
And the first thing we can do.
Can you just
so you'll
that,
tell me.
Can you hit that beautify in the on the right? Yeah. Okay.
That looks way better. So can I? So I guess here I can just like paste the link directly, right?
I think so.
And
we'll find out.
Call the variable. How can I call the variable here?
Oh, you can call it by the name. So because we're using the double curly braces, it's like a text editor kind of.
Okay. So media URL, the way I named it, and it will know where to find it. Okay. I guess that looks good.
Changes. I think you have an orange dot.
Yeah, I have too many orange dots. Okay, so now we have a small little script that will get the webhook payload from VideoAsk, extract the media URL, place that into the variable, and then put it back into the payload that we sent to Slack.
Oh my gosh, will this work? Could it be?
You know what? I want to do something else before that. So, because if it works, that's going to be too much fun. I want to put the name of the person. So contact and name. So we can say hello name. Could I do that? I'll do that quickly. So name, we get request data, contact, and name. And then here we'll do hello name. All right, I like that better. Save. Okay. And so now the only way to try this is to submit another response to the video ask.
Okay.
So I'm going to refresh this. And I record a new video.
Duck.
Up. Yes. And I'm still named Nico. And this is still my email.
I call you Nico because I don't know how to pronounce your name.
Nico is fine. Nothing yet. And so this is where we go back to our monitors here, right? Let's see if there is a latest request.
Oh, wait. Looks like media URL is mistyped.
Mistype. Yeah, yep.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, chat. Thank you.
Oh, well, I have to redo the thing again.
Eagle eyes, eagle eyes. Oh, I have to pee so bad. I hope this works.
All right. So I have the video. I click yes. Let's try another name to make sure it's the right thing. I'll call myself Pedro.
Pedro.
Oh, Andy, thanks for trying again. Well, okay, that works. Oh, actually, that sent me the previous one. Is there something that retries when it fails?
When the webhook fails? When what fails?
So we had a mistype, meaning that it was probably giving us an error that said like undefined, whatever. And so it was failing. When I solved it, is there a queue of things that are going to retry it?
When you solve it, no, I believe you need to send it again. But we could, if we're curious about the Postman behavior of retries, we could go to that console that we looked at earlier, the monitoring console.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like this live stream is just like console, like 5 types of consoles. I learned about a new console when I worked with the visualizer. This monitoring console, if you click on the second tab there at the bottom.
Okay. Yeah.
Or actually, you have to click on the monitor run to see the one. Yeah. So do you remember which one? Oh, these are all running. So Andy's submitting new responses, and each time it's running this, it's triggering this monitor.
Yeah. Tick.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't seem that
Andy submitted text. Andy Piper submitted text, and so that's why you don't have the media URL, because media URL is only for the video.
Yeah, but when there was a mistype, I don't think it triggered here as an error yet, or it just didn't do anything. Okay, that's good to know. So yes, we have the answers here, and then we can do something to make it work for when we only have text and we don't have media URL. So if I go back here, no, I'll go into the VideoAsk thing, look for answers, and I will find out input text. That's how we call it. Sorry. So
let's talk about French stuff.
Yeah. So if we want to take, yeah, that's how we're gonna call that. How are we gonna make this? We can call it content. That's gonna be either media URL or have another variable called input text. That's going to be also on contact. That's also going to be the first answer, and it's going to be input text. And so now we have input text for content. And now we change this media URL to content. So whether someone submits an audio or recording or by text, we will always show it. I know, I don't have to. No, I click send. Oh. See, this blue button. Yeah. I just have to save it.
Muscle memory.
Exactly. Cool. So this is like very basic rendering on Slack, but I'm sure we can do way more things.
Yeah. Yeah, we can customize it however we want. Oh, there's probably more that we could do with this example, but I have to go to the bathroom really bad. So I want to make sure we have time for a giveaway. So if we don't, Nico, did you have anything else you wanted to tell us about, like the VideoAsk API or the webhooks or some of the stuff that's coming?
Yeah, so as I said, we just have the basic of how you can render, but now you can run a whole notification system through this. Just funny, we don't have Slack notification, and this is a way for you to do Slack notifications. API right now, we don't have a way to create. If I go back to the documentation, we don't have ways to create video ask on the fly, but that's something that's coming. So if you want to maintain a lot of video ask and with a lot of videos that you already have, we support also pixels and Giphy. So if you don't want to put your face and you just want to use a library, this is also doable. And we just launched some stuff for screen sharing. So if this is great for support as well. If someone has an issue, they can already record their screen and show you directly what is the issue. Yeah, so if you want to hack with this, please check the Postman collection and let us know what you want to do with it.
Okay, so let's do a giveaway. Let's just try it out. I know a lot of people have been participating with this, but I would like to. I actually want to try out like the logistics of the video ask and then see if I can use it to do a giveaway in the future. So I have. Do you want to go ahead and share my screen, Arlemy? I'm going to go ahead and pull up. Okay, well, I probably need to share my. Okay, oh, I have to go to the bathroom. I can barely concentrate. Okay, okay, so I'm sharing. Hopefully, you'll see soon my browser, and I am wearing Can you see my shirt? I am wearing a Postman Pride shirt. So let's just take a look at the Postman website. So in the Postman website, oh, look at this cool thing. Postman just went live. Come hang out. Nice work, Arlemy. Okay, right. So if I I'm going to make it sick, but I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom. There's this swag shop here. I'm not telling you to go buy stuff, but this is where we're getting stuff from. There's like Postman stuff. So I would like to give out like a t-shirt or a pair of socks or something to, how do we do this? How do we do this by video ask? Do we need to have their email address? Like I want to do like a quiz or something. Do you have something to ask?
Yeah, we're gonna ask a question and then I will share the video somewhere. Come up with a question.
Actually, let's use the same form that you just made, and in fact, let's put it in the chat again. And then I'm gonna just say just any idea. It doesn't have to be a good idea. We're not judging you by how good your idea is, but we are going to pick a winner for probably socks and a t-shirt. Nico, is there anything else that you wanted to sweeten the pot with?
Yeah, let's add a Typeform subscription for a year. That's for you.
Typeform subscription for a year. So a lot of cool prizes. And again, you don't have to put your email address, but some way so that we can contact you. You have to be following us on this, what's this called? This live stream. You have to be following Postman. And then just go ahead and submit something and we'll pick a winner from people. And we have the link here in this chat. Just go ahead and submit any old stream topic that you would like to see. And then we'll pick somebody from the responses. And we don't have to do it right now. We'll pick in about an hour. So an hour. And as soon as I go to the bathroom, I'll come back and pick one. I just have to go. I have to go real bad. But
trust Joy. She will do it.
So let's go ahead and
share the link.
Yeah. So the link. Arlemy is trying to make me pee my pants. Okay, so Nico, this was so much fun. You are the first guest we've had on the Postman live stream. How can we stay in touch with you? How can we keep tabs on what you're working on?
Well, thanks again for having me. Really excited to be on it. Yeah, if you want to follow what we do, follow Typeform or VideoAsk on Twitter. And if you want to follow me personally, I'm Pixong. You should have the username on the stream, and this is where I am on all over the internet. And if you have some good hack ideas, I want to hear about those as well.
Yeah. So reach out, keep the conversation going. Nico, thank you so much for being our first live guest on this live stream, and we'll have something new for you next week. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Have a good one.